Hello, my name is Barry Lesser, and I'm the director on behalf of Dalhousie University for the joint program between Dalhousie and the University of Finance and Economics of Mongolia, which involves a major in economics that has students divide their time between study at UFE and study at Dalhousie. More specifically, the program has students do their first 2 years of study at UFE, followed by 2 further years of study at Dalhousie, and on successful completion of all 4 years of study, students will qualify for a double degree, that is to say, a degree from Dalhousie and a degree from UFE. This program has existed now for close to 3 years, but because partway through the first year of its formal existence, we ran into the emergence of the COVID-19 pandemic. No students have yet actually come to Dalhousie from UFE. We are currently anticipating that we will have 2 or 3 students who will come for September of 2022, and those will be the first students to participate at both universities under this program. The advantages of doing a program of this nature, which sometimes for shorthand purposes gets referred to as a 2+2 program, is that you end up with a degree from a major foreign university, but you only have to invest half the normal time that it takes to earn that degree at the foreign university campus itself, because your first 2 years are spent in your home country at the partner university there. And that has major financial advantages because a year of study abroad is going to be much more expensive than a year of study at home, not only because tuition charges will be much larger, but also because the cost of living itself will be higher. In addition, however, you get the advantages that come with earning a foreign degree, and those advantages are several. Number one, very importantly, you have the opportunity to live in a different country, to study in a different language, to experience a different culture, and to make new friends. Dalhousie University is a major Canadian university. It's approximately, by Canadian standards, medium-sized, with about 19,000 students in total in all programs at all levels of study. It's a comprehensive university, which means that it has a full range of majors at the undergraduate level and at the master's level and at the doctoral level. And it also has professional schools of law, of medicine, of dentistry, of engineering, and agriculture. The advantage of that study at Dalhousie is that you become one of approximately 2,500 international students who have chosen to come to Dalhousie. More than 10% of the total student body is international. And that, in turn, means that you have the opportunity to make new friends, new acquaintances, not only with Canadians, but with people literally from all over the world. More than 100 different countries are represented in the Dalhousie student body. In fact, more than 115 different countries are represented. And those students with you will share classes. Not all of those students, of course, will major in economics, which is the major for the joint program between Dalhousie and UFE. But there are many international students who do study economics, and you will share classes with them. And depending on your interests, you may choose to then also take classes in other fields outside of your major, because it's part of your degree requirement that you get some breadth of exposure to different fields of study. And in the process of choosing some of those, you will encounter other students. In all of your classes, of course, you will also be with many Canadian students. All of your classes are shared with regular students at Dalhousie. There's nothing special about you as a student at Dalhousie, in the sense that there are no classes that are only for foreign students. There are no classes that are only for students in this particular program. You share all the classes with all the other students who have the same major as you. Going back to the issue of the advantages, that exposure to new people, new places, different culture, different language, all of those things are incredibly important in today's world to give you a perspective on global affairs and on global interdependence, which you don't have a better way to achieve when you remain strictly in your own country for your entire period of study. Apart from that, exposure to this program is also going to greatly enhance your opportunities for acceptance to high-quality graduate schools if, in fact, further education beyond the level of a bachelor's degree is part of your goal, is one of your goals. That exposure to Dalhousie is going to give you a Dalhousie degree, and that Dalhousie degree is going to be a better ticket to entrance to major universities in the US, elsewhere in Canada, in the UK, and in other parts of the world. And I don't say this because we believe Dalhousie is a vastly superior university to the University of Finance and Economics. I say it because we are better known. And those schools that you may want to go to earn a postgraduate degree, a master's degree, or even at some point perhaps a doctoral degree, those schools will better understand your results from Dalhousie. They will know Dalhousie. They will know the standards from Dalhousie better than they will know the same for the University of Finance and Economics of Mongolia, even though UFE is a very good university. The fact that they will be able to better appreciate how good a student you are also means that then when they look at your first 2 years of study at UFE, they will have a better understanding of what those results may also mean. If you're not familiar with a particular university, you're not sure if the standards are high or low. You're not sure what individual grades may tell you about the quality of students. You're not sure if someone who gets all 80s and 90s or all A minus and A grades, if everyone at that school gets those grades, then those are not as meaningful. So you have to have some sense of standards. And because Dalhousie is better known and its standards are known, that allows a better judgment to be made of what your grades from UFE actually are telling someone. So a variety of advantages come with the opportunity to study abroad, but at a much lower overall cost for 2 years of study as opposed to 4 years of study. It also means that you get used to what it means to be a university student, because being a university student is very different than being a high school student. For one thing, you will suddenly find that you have much more independence, that you have much more responsibility to keep up with your own work, that you don't have a teacher who will be constantly asking, did you do this assignment? Or did you read this chapter of the textbook? University is the next step in the education system. And in the same way that you probably have found that high school was very different than middle school, which was very different than primary school, university is very different than high school. Our program gives you the opportunity to make some of the adjustments that are called for as you move into university life and university study, before you're also faced with having to cope with a foreign environment and a foreign culture and a foreign language in a place far away from home, from relatives and family and friends. you will start to make new friends. That's part of what you come for. But you don't have them when you first arrive, when the adjustment process is hardest in some respects. But waiting beyond high school graduation, taking that further 2 years to first get accustomed to what it means to be a university student before you have to then also cope with what it means to be studying in a foreign country, that can be a major, major advantage. One of the reasons why I'm talking to you today as high school students who are starting to think about, and indeed are well along in thinking about, what your next step in the educational process will be. And you're looking at which university to choose for study next year. I'm recommending our program. I'm recommending you think carefully about a major in economics. And I'm recommending that you think seriously about University of Finance and Economics as the place to do that if you want to take advantage of the linkage that we have between Dalhousie and UFE. It's something you can take advantage of. You don't have to make a commitment at this point. You can wait and see how things develop. You can wait and see how much you enjoy the major of economics. You can wait and see how much you enjoy university life at all, and in particular, university life at the University of Finance and Economics. UFE will offer you the opportunity in your first year. For those who choose a major in economics, you have the opportunity to join a subgroup within the freshman class, which is designated as the Dalhousie Program Group. And as part of that, you're still not making a commitment that you will definitely come to Dalhousie, but you will have the opportunity to find out more about Dalhousie. When we are once again able to visit, which hopefully will happen next year when you are a freshman, when we're once again able to make that visit, then we will meet with that group designated as the Dalhousie Program Group, and we'll have an opportunity to talk not only about economic issues and topics, but also about Dalhousie. And we can meet with your parents and talk to them about the advantages of study at Dalhousie. None of this involves a commitment by you for anything other than to examine the options and to consider those options as you progress with your study. You do have to make a commitment to go to UFE, because UFE is the only partner that Dalhousie has in Mongolia. And we have no intention of establishing partnerships with anyone else besides UFE. But you can make a choice of UFE, and then if you're interested in economics as your major, you can join that Dalhousie Program Group within the first year class of economics majors. And that will give you an opportunity to learn more about Dalhousie, even as you continue to study. If after 2 years you decide you're going to stay where you are and you're going to finish a 4-year degree at UFE, then that's what you do. Coming to UFE, coming to the Dalhousie program group within the first year economics class, none of that represents a commitment on your part. It simply means that you're seriously thinking about using this opportunity as it becomes possible. The world has been very unsettled in the last 2.5 years, in the period in which we've been all struggling with COVID-19. And that has restricted travel opportunities. It's restricted people's interaction outside their own country. It's indeed restricted interaction of people within their own country, let alone across borders. But we're slowly starting to get back to some semblance of normality. And we expect and certainly hope that in the coming year, beginning in September of 2022, that it will be possible for travel to once again take place, so that I can visit and talk to you in person and meet you in person if you have in fact chosen UFE, chosen economics, and chosen the Dalhousie program along the way. I very much hope you will do that. One thing that I haven't mentioned, which we will obviously need to talk about in the future, is cost, because to come to Dalhousie to study is expensive. By any standard, it's expensive. And certainly for a country with a level of per capita income such as Mongolia has, it is particularly expensive relative to national income levels. I'm not trying to tell you that you don't need to be concerned about money, because it will in fact cost a great deal. But it is worth remembering that by taking advantage of a program such as ours, you only end up with the cost of 2 years of foreign study rather than all 4 years if you were to go to a foreign university straight from high school. The total cost in Canadian dollar terms for a year of study at Dalhousie for an international student, because tuition charges are higher for international students than they are for Canadian students. So the total cost, including all your living expenses, your travel expenses, your tuition costs, your textbooks, and your living expenses, accommodation, food, etc., all of that may easily cost you as much as 50,000 Canadian dollars per year. And that's a lot. But Alternatively, it is something which, if you're in a position, if your family is in a position to afford that, then it is an opportunity which you should hopefully look at seriously. We very much hope that you will do that. We very much hope that some of you will, in fact, join UFE and choose economics as your major and end up in the Dalhousie program group. And in that case, I look forward to the opportunity to meet with you in the future. Thank you for your attention. If you have any questions, you can write to me or to my colleague Shannon Pung, and the slide which you're going to see in a moment will give you email addresses so that you can contact either or both of us as you wish. You also can contact us by contacting people at UFE and asking them to give you the necessary contact information. So once again, thank you for your attention, and I hope very much that I will get to meet some of you in person in the near future. Thank you.